This One's Wife. Pap appearance as a supportive friend. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. 3 cheers for This One's Wife. She's a supportive friend, didn't you know? Yes, kind, empathic, angelic, sent to this world in order to guide mere mortals in the ways of being authentic, organic, kind, loving, and compassionate. Fresh from seeking to make it all about her with the Navy SEALs, her agency then releases pictures of her, as ever, taken by Backgrid, as she was pictured with a friend last Friday. How do we know this? Well, it's been covered in various newspapers, and the Daily Mail, through Charlie Langston, tells us. This One's Wife shows off her legs in chic shorts as she pays tribute to the British military by sporting a poppy brooch while meeting a friend for lunch and shopping in Monty Shit Show. Phew, gosh, isn't she amazing? She can show off her stunning legs, which they're not, and she can pay tribute to the British military. Why? And then she meets a friend because, after all, she's got loads of them, and she's also doing some shopping too. Gosh, she's an absolute polymath, isn't she? So talented. This One's Wife may well have quit her life in the United Kingdom, but she still found a touching way to pay tribute to British veterans on Friday, when she stepped out sporting a poppy brooch, which are worn as a show of support for the armed forces. Now, of course, if she wishes to do that, she's allowed to do so, but doesn't it demonstrate how she, on the one hand, does down the UK, suggesting that most of its population are racist, that its media is downright awful and racist, for instance, telling lies about that media by saying that they used the N-word in relation to her son, which was complete fabrication. And yet she clings to something British, namely the use of the poppy, demonstrating her hypocrisy once again. I'll slate your country, but when it suits me, I will use a symbol used by your country to make me look good. Ah, yes, the eternal hypocrisy of the narcissist. And, of course, she does so in a most distasteful way, utilising a symbol which is there to support the fallen, showing the disgusting nature of this woman who will never fail to bandwagon any kind of scheme, notwithstanding the fact that she has no relevance to it, and she has shown complete disrespect for members of the armed forces in her behaviour previously. The 42-year-old wore the brooch while stepping out for a spot of lunch and a quick shopping trip with her model pal Kelly McKee Zaffin in Monty Shit Show at the end of last week, taking full advantage of the warm California weather by sporting a pair of chic cargo shorts and a simple pair of black ballet flats. Now, why was it that these photos weren't released on Friday or Saturday, but they waited until the early part of this week? Could it be that they require a bit of touching up after we have seen the real This One's Wife in the pictures that were taken at the Navy SEALs event? Could it be that the somatic narcissist is seeking to address these factors by causing the relevant agencies to touch photos up? It might be the case. You can make your own mind up. The report tells us that This One's Wife topped off the ensemble with some glamorous sunglasses and a thin black belt, and was seen toting a large black and white striped bag over one shoulder, while her long brunette locks were pulled back in a casual ponytail. Fascinating stuff. The outing came just one day before Remembrance Day in the United Kingdom and Veterans Day in the United States, an emotional occasion that both This One's Wife and Harry marked earlier in the week when they met with military veterans and their families at Camp Pendleton in San Diego on Wednesday. Prince Harry, 39, who was stripped of his honorary military titles when he quit his role as a working royal, and This One's Wife both wore Royal British Legion poppies for the occasion, as they did the following day when they cut to the ribbon on a new fitness centre for veterans at the venue. However, on Friday, this one's wife's husband was nowhere to be seen as she enjoyed a girls' lunch with Kelly, the co-founder of an organisation called Alliance of Mums, whose 9-year-old son George suddenly passed away in July of last year. At the time, a friend of the Zaffin family revealed to dailymail.com that George had been found unresponsive and that his death had come as a complete shock to his loved ones and parents. Kelly herself has been open about her grief on Instagram, writing in October of last year that she was not really okay, telling her followers, "The light every day is dim. I try my best. We are all trying our best. I'm so broken. I'm searching every day to find some new way to mould the pieces back together, and I'm completely aware that it may not all fit again." In May, she posted a heartfelt tribute to this one's wife on her account, praising the Duchess of Sussex for her support and praising her for being such an incredible friend and mother. "You are always the first to say yes and support those you love. You are a fierce advocate for those who are in need," Kelly continued, while sharing an image of herself and the Duchess of Sussex both wearing community motherhood t-shirts in support of an Alliance of Mums campaign. Well, notwithstanding the tragedy that Kelly Zaffin has experienced, the fact is, this one's wife is once again demonstrating her ghoul-like nature. Where tragedy exists, she swoops in with an opportunity to make it all about her. On the face of it, she appears supportive and, of course, has conned Kelly into believing that she truly cares. Kelly won't recognise that this one's wife is a narcissist, and the only reason that she is showing this support is because it makes her look good. It enables her to control Kelly as a non-intimate secondary source, draw fuel from her by way of her response, and then, of course, she utilises it by ensuring that this activity is spoken about by Kelly so that it makes this one's wife look good to aid with her facade management. It appears their bond is stronger than ever, the Daily Mail continues, judging by their close appearance on Friday, when they were seen leaving local Monte-Shit-Show restaurant Panevino with their arms around one another. Former model Kelly was seen toting a white paper bag of leftovers as the pair left the eatery. Fascinating stuff, I'm sure you'll agree, which is described as the area's first authentic Italian restaurant. Well, with it being authentic, no wonder this one's wife was there, because she oozes authenticity from every pore. And apparently it serves an array of seasonal daily specials, as well as a selection of handmade pasta dishes. Brilliant. Following their lunch date, the two women made their way to nearby luxury women's clothing boutique Wendy Foster. Fuck me. Where this one's wife is known to have shopped in the past, having been there as recently as last October. Basically, woman who became famous for marrying a prince goes for lunch and goes shopping. Whoopie-fucking-do. This one's wife appeared to be in great spirits during the outing, during which she was seen beaming from ear to ear. Naturally, she'd be doing so because she knew the cameras were on her, because good old Backgrid were there once again. She made the call, told them she was going out for lunch, and had to ensure that she was packed, carrying around an oversized bag again. I wonder what she keeps in there. Perhaps it's Harry's balls, but you wouldn't need a large bag for that, would you? They're incy-weensy, tiny, shriveled-up little walnuts. Anyway, she was beaming from ear to ear, and they went to the Range Rover, and they were accompanied by a burly security guard, because she is so very important. The two women, who both carried brown paper Wendy Foster shopping bags, were seen chatting and laughing with one another, seemingly without a care in the world. Wendy Foster, a boutique that this one's wife was seen visiting with the same friend back in October, sells an array of high-end clothing brands. Great. It marked a much more carefree occasion for the Duchess, who earlier in the week rather spent time meeting with American military veterans, etc., etc. Thus, woman goes for lunch, woman goes shopping, and she has to ensure that it's reported on. It's of no real consequence. In fact, it serves more purpose for me to talk about it, to demonstrate that this is once again her narcissism at work, where she has to control people through this appearance, that she has to receive fuel by way of people commenting and responding. And it's all about the management of her facade. That actually is more interesting than her actually going out and being seen. That in itself is completely pointless. We don't need to know about it. It just smacks of desperation. And of course, let's not forget this. The day that it was released, i.e. Tuesday, was what? Oh yes, it was the King's birthday. It was the King's 75th birthday. And therefore, as she always does, when the attention threatens to be elsewhere, she has to release a photo of herself or some news about herself because she cannot stand for other people to have the limelight because of her narcissism, and therefore she has to release some pathetic photograph of her showing off her chicken legs, going for lunch and then going shopping, which is entirely tedious and something we don't need to know. In fact, it's so tedious, let's bring in the horn of ridicule and give it a quick blast. There we are, thoroughly deserved that she gets the horn of ridicule for another piss-poor blatant attempt at drawing attention onto herself by showing something utterly mundane as going for lunch and going shopping in order to upstage and steal the thunder from His Majesty. Let's take a quick dive below the line. It's the Daily Mail. It's always entertaining. Free Lever says a poppy in America on an American, that is desperation. Rainbow Sprite. She really thinks she's got good legs, doesn't she? Silver Bob. Those legs, crumbs. She clearly loves them as she's always showing them off, as she clearly loves the rest of herself. Bo Bell. What a complete mess. She has nothing to do with the UK, thank goodness. The Ginger Witch. A bit too old for those shorts now. Just an opinion from moi. Stop trying to make this one's wife happen. She's just not happening. Mal Muse. Oh, the photographer always there to catch her big false smile. Sage 101. No mirrors at Monty's shit show. Again, demonstrating the deluded nature of this one's wife, which I've explained in earlier videos. Bert 5NANN1 tell. Those legs definitely need trousers. Tin Men. Why is this news? Helen. Is a photographer about? How do celebrities go shopping without being snapped by the paparazzi? Confused. That's not a friend. That's an employee. She's always pretending she has friends. Maria 030660. She's anything but chic and she has no friends. She uses people to gain herself. Evanescence. So very common. Musi. Always seeking out the cameras. P. Julie Nguyen. Hypocrite. Don't give her any more publicity. Hope at last this is supposed to be newsworthy. Well, as always, plenty of criticism, plenty of challenge fuel, no support whatsoever. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.